Today we're going to break down an amazing little game called Target Estimate. It's a really simple tool that can help you build what's called a thinking classroom. So let's jump right in.
So first I want you to just take a second and think about this. What does a truly engaged math classroom, what does it actually sound like? Is it supposed to be quiet? Or is it something else?
It sounds like this. It's a productive, energetic buzz. It's the sound of students thinking, arguing, politely of course, and actually defending their mathematical ideas. That's the real goal, right? A classroom that's alive with conversation.
Okay, so how do we actually get that sound? Well, a simple game can make a huge difference. And the one we're going to look at today, Target Estimate, is designed to do exactly that. Now, when you first see it, the game looks super simple. But that's the beauty of it. Underneath that simplicity, it's an absolute powerhouse for sparking these really rich, complex conversations about all the big ideas in number sense. We're talking place value, rounding, and just understanding the sheer size of numbers. And why does it work so well? Well, for one, it's just so practical. It's hands-on, you can set it up in a minute, and it fits just about anywhere. Math centers, small groups, even for those early finishers. But the most important part? It naturally makes kids want to talk and explain their thinking. It gets them having face-to-face conversations and moves learning way beyond just clicking answers on a screen. All right, so you get the why behind it. Now let's get into the how. We're going to walk through exactly how you can get this up and running in your own classroom, like tomorrow. The main goal could not be simpler. All students have to do is use estimation to create a number that's as close as they can possibly get to a target value. That's it. The magic here isn't in some complicated objective. It's in all the strategic thinking that it takes to get there. And you can see right here just how low prep this whole thing is. Seriously, all you need is a simple game board like this one, some number cards, or hey, even just a die, and between 2 and 4 players. You can have a game going in just a couple of minutes. So let's walk through it. First, you reveal a target number. Then, players take turns drawing cards or rolling a die to get their numbers. They use those numbers to build an estimate. But here, this is the most important part, step 4. They have to be ready to explain why they made the estimate they did. That's the real engine of the game. After that, everyone compares their numbers, you see who got the closest, and then you just play again. And that's when you really see their strategies start to change and grow. So here's a great little example of a turn in action. The target number is 30. This player drew 2 cards, made the number 46, and then rolled a 3 to use as a divisor. They estimated that 46 divided by 3 is about 15. Now, the real question is, could they have gotten closer? And that simple question is what kicks off the whole conversation. So we get the rules, but the real deep learning here isn't just about playing the game. It's all in the justification. It really is all about the incredible power of asking, why? And a fantastic way to help structure those conversations is by using what are called Math Talk sentence starters. You can just think of these as little scaffolds. They're short, open-ended prompts that give students the words they need to explain their thinking clearly and start using that precise math language we're always looking for. And here are some of those prompts in action. You can break them down into 2 key moments. While they're actually playing, students can use starters like, I chose this estimate because, to explain their immediate strategy. Then, when it's time to compare, they can use prompts like, I used a different strategy by, to really analyze what everyone else did. These simple phrases completely transform the game from just a competition into a real collaborative math exploration. So the students are talking, they're using these sentence starters, and that's awesome. But as the teacher, as the facilitator, how can you push their thinking even further? How do you really deepen that learning? This right here, this is your toolkit. By asking these kinds of probing questions while they play, you can guide their thinking to the next level. Ask things like, so why did you go with that estimate instead of a little higher or lower? Or, how would your strategy have to change if the target number was way, way bigger? These questions really push them to think more deeply about place value, efficiency, and scale. Now, one of the best things about this game is how flexible it is. It's definitely not just for one grade level. So let's look at a couple of easy ways you can level up the game for your older or more advanced students. This table lays it out so clearly. For your upper elementary kids, you could have them write out a full number sentence for their estimate, or maybe introduce targets that are decimals. But then for middle school, why not throw in negative numbers or fractions?
You could even add a rule where they have to make an estimate without using all their numbers, which really forces them to think about which numbers are most powerful.
And what's so important to realize is that these aren't just little changes to make it harder. No way. These simple tweaks actually push students into much more complex skills. We're talking about algebraic thinking, the need for precision, and that vital skill of being able to critique their own reasoning and the reasoning of their friends. When you get right down to it, what this game really teaches us is something fundamental about math that we can sometimes forget, and that is, math is a conversation. And look, if you take just one thing away today, let it be this idea. Good math isn't always about getting that one perfect exact answer. It's about thinking clearly, being able to justify your process, and communicating that thinking to other people. That's where the real learning lives.
So as you think about maybe using a game like Target Estimate, the final question isn't really about the rules or the materials. It's this: what kind of amazing mathematical conversations are your students going to have?